Hey guys, and welcome to this video. I hope this works. I always do my videos on my phone, and now I'm trying to use the laptop because my phone is for some reason not accepting to record videos for a few days. So I hope the sound is okay, I hope you see me okay, and I hope I manage to upload it. Oh, I'm such a disaster when it comes to technological stuff. But I'll try. So there's been a lot of information coming in over the last week, channelings and downloads, and there are a few main points that I want to cover in this video. And what I've been shown is that there's much more energy being released up from the inner earth now. So there's both, as many are aware of, a lot of energy coming in from the cosmos. So there's high energy that is coming in, and there's also very high frequency coming up from the inner earth, which is, and this is one of the main points, is that the energy of the land is being evoked. This means, and it's happening all over the world. I have been talking about this happening in Australia before, because I was taking a lot to Australia and I was sort of watching and observing this process in the astral, and also channeling information about it. Over this last week, I've been taken to all continents on the world, and what I shared was that now there's more energy being released and coming up all over the world. So this is the reason why. The energy that is coming up will evoke the energies of the land. So there's two main things that will sort of provoke, or that will create. One thing is that ancestral healing will be upfront. So this means that old patterns, old traumas, anything that we are anchored into on an energetic level. So if there's been traumas, if there's patterns of behavior, if there's thought patterns, any of these types of things that we are anchored into, that we keep playing in, that we are holding in our bodies consciously or unconsciously, it will be shaken up in order to release it, because the land is no longer holding it. And so we're not supposed to hold it and play in it and be in it anymore. It's a part of that old illusion, the density, the lower frequency that we are moving out of. And so it has to be shaken up in order to release, like we've been talking about before. But what is happening now is that there's more of it coming up from the land. And so the clearing and healing of limiting beliefs, distortion, patterns, cultural things, it will come up. It will be pushed much more in order to be released. So it's sort of like a clearing, like we're wiping out the old stuff, and that will of course be felt in the body, be felt in our lives, because the old things that are anchored into these systems, into whether it's personal, patterns of behavior, thought patterns, personal traumas, or the bigger systems that are anchored in these energetic patterns, both will be shaken up because it can't be held any longer. That means that it's also very much more easily accessible to release ancestral, release contracts. This we can do by intention, everything. If we really have the intention to, and we sit down, we intend, we work with the energy of it, and we choose over and over again to release things, we are releasing it. It's and making the choice to not continue to play in it. So this is more easily accessible now. The flip side of it is that there's also the ancient wisdom that is coming up, that is being more accessible. We are maybe experiencing sudden memories, sudden remembrances of, old maybe ceremonies of, maybe working with plants, working with the earth, with the animals, like these ancient traditions and the wisdom, which is much more in tune with nature, in tune with Gaia. That will be much more accessible, and it will be more and more people starting to remember these kind of things, because it's also coming up. So it's been sort of held in the land, and it's almost like so the way they show it to me is almost like, when the mist is evaporating in the morning. It's almost like that you have the land, and then it's like this wisdom, this energy is just like starting to come up like mist. And so we will start to remember and start to, it's sort of like a process that will take time, but we are moving more into working with the earth, Gaia, or Mother Earth, as a consciousness is also, in my experience, much more accessible now, to communicate with, to feel, and to work with the nature spirits, with the elemental beings, with the nature, the animals, and with Mother Earth. So all of this is sort of like coming together, and we are more easily seeing the interconnectedness, and clearing the distortion of power over something, just like we're doing in between humans, with a constant triggering of whether you have your own choice or not, and whether you give your power away or you don't, remembering our sovereignty, having to really make our own choices, and respect others for their choices. So there are several levels or layers to sort of the same thing, but it's really, really sort of up in front now. They've been showing me because of the energy coming from the inner earth, and that is evoking the energy of the lands, and that again is then affecting the human collective. So there will be a deeper remembrance, and we will be anchoring light, and we will be anchoring more in our own bodies. So what they showed me is that when the energy is coming up from the inner earth, the way we are sort of bringing it up, because we're sort of anchoring light down from the universe, from the cosmos, and then when the energy is coming up from the inner earth, it's coming up through our bodies as well, in order to be held in the human collective and on the surface. And so what they've showed me is that the solar plexus is something that will be important moving forward. It will be whatever is of, left of distorted patterns, any issues, whether it's in the body, anything that is connected to the solar plexus on a physiological and anatomical level, or the energetics and also the emotional body, the mental body, anchored in energies that has to do with the solar plexus. So also that has to do with the very obvious thing of our own power and our own sovereignty. So this will be cleared because as the energy is coming up, it will go through the body, and it's the lower 3 chakras, the lower 3 energy centers, that are sort of the first ones coming up, which is really connected to the earth. And so these will be cleared, and especially the solar plexus has been shown to me over and over again. I'm just going to take a look at my notes because there's been so much coming in. Yes, also the systems will be clearing because the energy that is coming up needs to be held. And that's also why our solar plexus is clearing. So we can experience both, of course, physical symptoms and also a lot that has to do with our own power being much more triggered. If we are in any pattern of giving our power away, not, or holding ourselves back, feeling powerless, feeling in a victim state, feeling more comfortable maybe giving our power away, or being afraid of our own power. All of these types of things will most probably be triggered and ask for a change. And so again, whatever is coming up in your personal experience is what you pay attention to. It is what you sort of deal with or concentrate on. The most important thing is to be present always as to what you are experiencing and take whatever is just in front of you in every moment. The coming week has been flagged to me, and it's very rare that they give me either specific like time frames or dates, and the reason why is exactly that, because it's with presence. Because if we have certain expectations of something coming, or we are stuck in the story or something of the past, we are not in the present moment. And so that's why it's very rare that they will give me a date or a specific time period, because it sort of takes you out of the present moment. So when you hear those kind of things, always take it with a grain of salt, and always first and foremost stay present to what you experience. But the coming week, moving into the last half of October, has been shown me several times. So we can probably expect a lot of energy coming in and more sort of turmoil, both personally and most probably on the world stage as well, because things are starting to be more visible on a very physical level as well. And like around 2.5 years ago, when I started receiving information about Atlantis and the consciousness held in the inner earth, that it was going to be released and come up. The first thing I was shown was that it would come up through the mountains, sort of like the mountains, almost like channeling or holding the energy and letting it come up. This is the same I was shown now that our physical bodies are doing with the energy from the inner earth. And that's why when it's coming up in the physical body, it's why it will be clearing. And then especially the solar plexus was really very clearly focused on and then shown me. Yes, because if we don't let it, how to explain this? If we don't let it pass through the solar plexus, and we don't want to face whatever is there, or we try to avoid it, distract ourselves from it, like with any type of thing that we are experiencing, we will not be able to let the energy come up to the heart and then being expressed and coming through. So we won't be able to fully hold it if we resist it going through the solar plexus. And that's why they're saying now that I have been really flagging the solar plexus, because that's where many people will resist it. And that's why that's the place where many are experiencing, and many will be experiencing, challenges that has to do with being sovereign, standing in your field. The more of this energy you can channel through, it's more easy to speak your truth as well, because it has come through and cleared the solar plexus. So we are not so much then in patterns, so either giving our power away or trying to manipulate others consciously or unconsciously by not speaking our truth and just, you know, trying to fit in or whatever, or whether we're afraid of our own power and try to hold it up, hold it down, hold it back, make ourselves small, make ourselves invisible. So no matter which polarity it's towards, it will be shaken up in order to be cleared, because there's so much of this energy coming up that way, and it has to go to our hearts, because that's where we can, you know, when it reaches the heart, we will be able to shine it out more. That's the way they're showing it to me, which is the same as I've been explaining before, with the most important thing is to not go out of your own field or out of your own being, sort of, and try to either fix others or tell them what to do or be focused on others in that way, but respect them, respect their journey, their decisions, their perspectives, and be true to your perspectives, your experience, and just be present with that and stay in that, because that's the more, so more and more, the more we are true to ourselves, the more we are authentic, the more we are more we are clearing of everything that is not who we are. It's like we're just peeling off this layer after layer after layer after layer of what we are not. The more we will start to emit this light out of us, and that light emitting out of us from the heart space, because everything is going to come from the heart. It is coming out, and that is what is sort of affecting others as well. This is what is causing a remembrance in their field, in their bodies. And so it's almost like the way to show it to me is almost like lights on a Christmas tree. Like there's one light shine coming on, and then there's another one, another one, another one. So it's just like this popping of lights around. And that is by you being you, not by you trying to show someone else how to do it. Or, of course, if they ask, if they invite you to share your perspective or something, or your experience with something, that's another thing. But only then, because then you are just coming from your own field and your own truth. So that's really important to stand in that, and to know that that's also when you can affect the collective the best. It's when you pay attention to you, when you clear your own stuff, when you refuse the invitation to go into distractions, and so that you stay really present and you start to really experience your own life, your own present moment, and start to really more and more stay true to that, and also let that shine out, not hiding, not dimming your light, and not being afraid of being you. And so it will be more and more difficult to not be who you truly are. And that is a gift. It really is. So I hope this can be helpful for you guys. Please share if it resonates. I love reading your comments always. Thank you to everyone sharing their experiences and commenting. I will see you in the next video. I hope this works with the sound and everything. And I hope I get the other technical stuff up and going soon. Have a beautiful day. Love yourself, nurture yourself, take care of your body, and have compassion for everyone around you going through the exactly same thing as you are. Bye bye. See you in the next video.